Okay. Um, a target individual, and this is why I make these testimonials as much as I can, because as a target individual, what happened is they try to really create a falsified reality in order for us target individual to fall into this brainwashy type of manipulation we get. So as a target individual, we are human subjects. That means that some of the most advanced technology is being utilized onto us. This technology is meant to break us down into accepting falsification of reality. Um, they try to turn us into people that we're not. It's funny. 2 seconds ago, they were trying to change my memory. Like they have this thing, this consistent ways of manipulating memories and changing versions of memories. One thing they like to do is try to make you be subscriptive to this persona they created. Personas are usually pedophilia centric. Usually, that's the case. They try to change things around in your brain and try to create a narrative that is falsified or perceptions that falsify something in real time, in memories, and in even perception, like the falsification of everything you can experience. They manipulate you in the worst ways in regard of how you react and things that will disturb you. Then go into memories and see how they can change you into thinking in these retarded ways, in these stupidity ways, and in this to make you accept, to make you subscriptive of these manipulations. And so it's tough, but you gotta be strong. You gotta know yourself because they're really gonna try to change how you perceive yourself. And you have this trash, and it doesn't take much, right? You know, I know that I have people around me involved in it. Now, those people are not the people running this program. They are just contracted to do what they do. Things are very systematic. They might be going through like repetitions, things like that. And honestly, what they do can be easily done by a automated version of who they are. Like they can easily automate that, but I don't know if it's, maybe some of them could be automated at the time it's not, but really it's not anything special. They just go through repetitions and try to get you to subscribe to it, and they think that at one point you're gonna accept this. It will never happen, right? And then they see me in person, it's like, nope, I see you for the dumbass that you are, right? So as a target individual, we are those subjects that these governmental entities, which obviously has linked to DARPA, DOD, and obviously CIA being the first to start off with creating methods to work on manipulating the mind. Because at the end of the day, that is what they do. But also more than that, for example, right now my organs, I'm feeling something happening to my organs. Those are definitely weapons that come from the Department of Defense and most likely the DARPA. And so they will do this whole thing where they try to make you change psychologically, break you down, change you physically because of what they do to your body, and try to make you acceptive of these changes. The key is to never subscribe to it. Now, whatever I'm going to experience, I can do nothing about that. I'm going to experience whatever memories they want me to experience it the way they want it. There's no battles, there's no nothing. This is how my brain is going to be experiencing whatever they want to, as he does that. And their job is going to try to make me subscriptive of this. Be like, oh, it's you. It's like, of course I know it's not you. You're a retard. You're supposed to make me subscribe to these manipulations. You're going to act accordingly. I was on the call with these people. It's funny because with me, the humiliations of reality is what's going to make it even worse for me. I have this thing where this side of people that try to counter reality. Now, these people at this point know that I know what they do. They manipulate us, target individuals, in these disturbing ways, but very disturbing to know who they also manipulate and who else they torture and abuse. They torture children. What we go through target individuals is torture, but is a torture for a purpose. They do the same things they do to us, but also to kids. They know that I know that. They know that they abuse, torture, and do horrible things to children. I know also that they do this to women. It's so funny how like one client, one person is just she's it's so they trust to like some of it is so gimmicky. I don't know if they do that on purpose. It's like, oh, I'm doing all of it. It's like, what do you? No, you are not even doing what you're doing to me. Like, you are not a part of, like, you are not needed to do what's happening to me. None of these people. But this entity is doing this thing to me because it's not an individual doing this thing to me. It's an entity. It's doing that to women and children, which you work for this entity, this program that does that to the most vulnerable people. And they try to kind of block that out. So it's like, oh, did I do it? Oh, please understand. That's the people doing this thing to me. To the people that do this to me are not only doing this thing to me, but have done this to women and children. I might be your first, but please understand, you are not the key element here. And people with expertise are doing this thing to me, and these people with expertise are obviously doing this to children and women. And so, no, so that means that you are currently involve yourself in a program that is torturing children. You are part of this. What do you think is your money? Like, and they're like, no, it's our money. I'm looking at the Department of Defense like budget, right? I'm looking at it. It's like, oh yeah, do you think that some private entity is paying for this thing? Hell, absolutely not. There's not a single entity except related to the Department of Defense could do this. It's absurdly expensive. The technology, the labor that people need to be involved, the amount of people involved in this level of this type of financial aspect of things is just ridiculous. And the technology is, I think this next door neighbor or this client is doing this. Of course I know that's not true. I understand. So you are trying to make me forget the reality that you torture children and women. And then they try to be like, no, but what you did, you abuse. Try to talk about me in my childhood, the stupid thing I did to myself. While they're in a program where they try to block out the reality that they are literally abusing and torturing kids using this military-grade weaponry and sexual torture, sexual abuse. Abusing them, torturing the genitals. While they're trying to talk about me in 8th grade in middle school, doing whatever stupid thing I did to myself, and want me to somehow look at them as protectors of children, while in a program that is torturing children, radiating them in so many ways, suffocating them, and sexually torturing them. I mean, we're talking about 3-year-old testicles, 3-year-old kids' testicle being just radiated, tortured. Do you think that I can ever let that go away? And on top of that, the pedophilia type of torture, which I will always bring that up, is a systematic thing they've done to me. I was looking at something for traveling. There was this small picture of like a father, mother holding in the hand of a kid in the middle. Initially, I was like, I had to look to see, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a child. I looked away because I know what they're gonna do. And you know what was the thing? My brain's like, oh, you look for too long, because I'm not even processing properly what I'm seeing. Sometimes I have to things in my brain, because of whatever they're doing, is just kind of slower. My brain is going slow. I'm not optimal, and they're making it hard for me to kind of function. And when I was doing that, it's usually what they like to do is to dry out my tongue. And then I did this thing, because they do these things with my tongue to dry my tongue, and apparently radiation can do that, can create dry mouth. So probably that's what they do. Like, you see, your tongue dried up. It's like, this is disturbing things they do 24/7. It's so nasty. And they try to find ways to vilify me. No, but that woman, what woman? That you mean the thousands of women all around the world being tortured by you guys? They are raping women using this technology. Unfortunately, this technology can do these remote rapes, which you can feel something goes into you. You can feel like all kind of things. It can destroy your genitals. They do these things to women. And women are calling out the fact there's a lot of females involved in doing this. Now, obviously, I don't think it's a cult. I don't think it's people who are jealous about, I know that we are just human subjects. And this governmental program that is utilizing this technology onto us human subjects. And these entities happen to have a lot of pedophiles in these agencies running this program because it's obviously connected to the Department of Defense, obviously connected to intelligence communities. And very importantly, something I just want to bring up is how they manipulate my memories. Right now, they're bringing up, listen to how they try to change my memories. They're even creating like things that weren't there. They make me think. My best friend was in college, and this is stupidity. And I remember there was her friend. They were graduating, and her sister, her younger sister, was coming to this college. Right, she came to the college, about to go to that college. Right, and because at that point, I don't know, she just like most likely just turned 8. I don't know, like she was becoming a freshman in college, right? And she was, getting ready to come to that college. They're trying to make me imagine her in a sexual way because they want to create this like persona that's falsified. And they're trying to make me imagine because she's like, I don't know if she was 18 at the time or about to be 18 or already 18, whatever. But they want me to think of the little sister in this sexual way when reality is, I'm not going to try to insult her. She was just a normal like freshman or somebody who was really not, let's just say that it's not somebody who would, what's the word, make me be attentive to her in any ways. But in my head now, they try to create like, make her like voluptuous or try to create like, make me think, but okay, you didn't see anything in her, but you kind of looked to see if there was something there. I was like, this is sad. They're pathetic. And they're like, oh, but did you look, if I was normal, I don't care. I could look somebody, do nothing to me. She didn't do nothing to me and she will not do anything to me. Now they try to stimulate me. But this is the kind of things they try to create. Reality is just something they can design. They can create. She was, I don't want to be insulting, but you understand. It's not, it was not, it was not somebody that I would definitely feel any strong reaction. And then nothing wrong with her. I don't even want to be like talking about her in this way. But they want you to like start thinking this ways. And now I'm like, there was nothing. She was a normal freshman person, whatever. Just nothing. And I don't want to insult her. She's normal. But it's not somebody I would find in any ways. And they're trying in my brain to try to get me like to think that she had like some kind of curvaceousness or something there, which they're falsifying. They're forcing that in my brain. Because the older sister perhaps was different. Right? And so they try to kind of like change that to something else. It's so pathetic. They live off like a falsified reality. Distortion of reality is all they live off. That's why reality is obviously going to come to them. You cannot live off a false reality for so long without expecting reality to come. Their reality is distorted. So, of course, people who live in distorted reality will have to experience reality one way or another. You cannot live a distorted reality for too long before reality comes to get you. For me, I understand the reality I'm in. I'm in a reality where I'm a human subject and they can do whatever they want to me. They can manipulate my brain, my mind, my body, my everything, my memories, my thoughts, my everything can be changed in a new persona, a new reality of whatever, a new thoughts that I will not naturally experience, but being forced to experience. Now I'm the little sister. Instead of at least the older sister, maybe like that. That would be somebody, yes, I've looked at her, but, but no, it will not make sense because that's not the reality they want. They would distort reality. They need a distorted reality. They have to paint this falsified reality. The older sister, yes. The sister, oh my gosh. But noise campaign, I can hear the dog making the dog bark or whatever. All these things to try to get me to subscribe to this false reality. It's because they sold their soul to pedophiles. And now they're here trying to create their fantasy of reality. What do you expect? Why do you think these agencies come out, this article comes out exposing this problem of pedophilia? Well, these people are here trying to falsify reality. They live off nastiness. And it's so sad because they're selling their children to these pedos. Because they talk about how they're going to frame me. It's like, frame. You can't even say Roy Moore, pedophile that picked up kids. You out here trying to falsify this BS, try to make me think of the little sister studying in college, and try to make me imagine her in these different ways instead of what she actually is. This sad. It was like, and it's funny. I remember I was on the call with this client. They were telling me like, oh, this client was saying, hey, I have a couple kids to sell, because I know these people here, my neighbors, they sold their children to these entities. You cannot be a self-respecting man or woman willing to let your child be involved in a program where I'm gonna frame, like, use your child to frame, use your own child to frame this person. Say that your child and this man did something, and this client, to kind of hype these people up who are trash for even thinking about this nastiness like that. It's like, oh, I'll sell my kids. He hasn't been on camera since that day. Well, this trash, like, oh, we're gonna frame you. So, trash. So nasty. To all my target individuals, stay strong. You gotta be understanding of how sad these people are. They're pathetic. They're pathetic trash. They're gonna do everything they can to try to be and make you accept a thing that is just storylines, fantasized. For me, I'm just like, I know reality, and I see them for the losers that they are. Now I know my brain is gonna be like, they're gonna box in these fantasies. They're gonna box it. They're gonna block it in. Try to make me imagine this kid's, whoever. Maybe she was just a young adult at this point, but this person's butt. This sister of well, the older sister is like, yeah, okay, that's her. And changing it and manipulating my memories and giving me the feeling they gave me today, because today what's happening, I'm forced to get stimulation toward like teenage kids and kids of all ages. Just falsifying reality. Like I said, death comes to all of us. I'm just thankful that I could be living life doing what they do, and living off this disturbing reality, because unfortunately for them, at least if they were living this thing thinking that, oh my gosh, we were so winning, look at that. There's a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies. They can say the name Roy Moore, a man that picked up kids as young as 14 years old. There's freaking testimonials that sound exactly like what I'm saying. Somebody saying they do this program perversion and aim it toward children and young people. Jesus. There's a lot of women involved, a lot of female involved in this program. Somebody thinks the next door 14-year-old kid that's doing this, like everything. And to counter that, it's like, oh, you can be castrated. I was like, and then no, you're abused. Try to talk about me as a kid when they are here killing and torturing babies. Infants at 3 weeks old. A little girl, a little baby girl. I gotta uncross my legs because they're gonna try to do these nasty things to me. 3-week-old baby. Made her feel sick. They thought this baby was dying. No, it was them messing with the baby. And they tried to create some sexual disturbing things about that. So disturbing. And then this trash talk about how they're gonna die after doing this, after involving themselves in that. I'm like, yes, please continue to live that life. Please don't do anything else but that. I'm sure you can get a lot of good money here. I would recommend, like, I would wish for you to continue this life. You're God. This is your reality. You sell your children. Matter of fact, have more kids so you can sell them like that. You have war. You're the warrior. You're the biggest warrior. Target individuals, stay strong. It is so sad. It's so pathetic. But you gotta be strong.